state of Delaware will set aside nearly $6 million for its Priority Schools initiative. I have here with us Secretary of Education Mark Murphy, who's going to tell us all about this initiative. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you for coming and joining us. Well, let's get right into this. What are the 6 schools and how were they chosen?
Yes, this is an incredible opportunity for the 6 schools that serve nearly 2,000 children in the city of Wilmington. And these are schools that are currently struggling. And so they were chosen because they are struggling to meet the needs of their kids. They're struggling to show academic progress, and they're currently the 6th lowest performing schools in our state. Right, the schools are Shortridge, Warner, and Highlands in the Red Clay School District, and Stubbs, Bayard, and Bancroft in the Christina School District. And what an opportunity do they have in front of them.
And these 6 schools happen to be right here in the city of Wilmington.
They do.
So they're going to affect our constituents, our parents, our residents here. So what are some of the benefits? Like, can you explain to the parents who are watching how this will affect their school district?
Yes, first and foremost, it's important for our parents to know that this is an opportunity for them to become more involved in their school. In fact, in the coming couple of months, all 6 of these schools will undergo a planning process. And as part of that planning process, the state expects that the schools will engage their parents and engage their communities in charting the course for that school. So a major difference right from the beginning is that our parents can come to the table with their school leaders, with the teachers in the school to decide what will the future of Bayard look like? What will the future of Warner look like? And specifically, if I'm a parent, I'm thinking, what are the needs of my child? What could my child benefit from a different program, from an after-school program, from certain meals during the day, from some health services, and maybe something in the summertime? Those are the types of conversations that our parents are welcome to join in the coming months, and we expect they will.
So you're not excluding parents and teachers from this process. So how can they get involved?
In fact, it's the opposite of excluding. We have an expectation as the state that before a school can move forward with their plan to improve, they have to adequately involve the parents and the community. So this is an invitation, but it's also an expectation. And the first step would be for a parent to reach out to their school district and say, I want to have a voice. I want to be involved. And that's as simple as a telephone call to the school district or a telephone call to the school and said, I know there's an opportunity that I would like to be involved.
Okay. And now when we speak about struggling, what actually went into saying this school was struggling as opposed to this school was excelling?
Yes, there are 2 big factors. The first is that we look at the achievement of our children in key areas like reading and mathematics. And we ask, how are the students doing? And so in many of these schools, 2 out of 3 children are struggling to do basic reading and basic math. And so we looked at that. We also looked at growth. We said, are the students getting much, much better? Are they accelerating their academic growth? And in the vast majority of these schools, they're not accelerating their growth. In fact, the growth is less than the other schools throughout the state. So not only are the students struggling to achieve at high levels, but they're not showing accelerated growth either. And those 2 factors, when combined, allowed us to provide the opportunity for these 6 schools to undergo dramatic improvements.
And how for the ones who aren't in agreement, who are saying, well, it takes more than just the school itself, the academics, also the parents at home have to be doing their due diligence and being there to help their children do their homework and things like that. So what do you say to those who are opposing this and aren't really sure if this is a guarantee that this will work?
Yes. So guarantees for our children come through an entire puzzle. Right? There are pieces of the puzzle that have to do with poverty and have to do with health care and have to do with parental engagement that certainly a priority schools initiative cannot address all of those pieces of the puzzle, all of those wraparound services for our children as they grow up. However, the school is an institution that serves our children. And for the school to have this opportunity to serve the children better is incredibly important. The other thing that's very important for our parents to know is that we are seeing schools right here in Delaware, right here in Wilmington, and all over the country that are achieving great things with children who come in with struggles. And so we have seen it. We've seen it at Eastside Charter School in recent years with dramatic improvements. We've seen it at Lewis Dual Language, just a few blocks from here, where they have made some of the most impressive gains in the state in recent years. We've seen it at Howard High School. We've seen it at Booker T. Washington in Dover, and hundreds of other schools around the state. And so what our parents and our children need to know is that they all have the opportunity to do much, much better. And just because some parents and children have challenges, that's no reason that we can't meet their needs in the classroom.
And let's talk about the funding and how it's going to be allocated and the involvement that's going to take place here. There's a lot of speculation that the teachers are not going to be as involved because now they have to reapply for the position, and they've already started working with these children, so they have that engagement and that relationship with these children. So what are some of the things that this funding, where is this funding going, and how is it going to be allocated, and what are the benefits?
Great. So first is this is a 4-year effort. And this current year is a planning year. Okay. So the current teachers and the children, that all stays the same this year. And so our parents and our children don't need to worry about their teachers changing in December or in January. This is a planning year. It's to get ready for 3 implementation years that we begin next year. And so the funding, we are funding the planning year. We are helping the schools. We are providing $50,000 grants to every single one of the 6 schools to support their planning and engagement efforts. We are then, next year, and for the 3 implementation years, we are going to fund the plan that they create. And we as a state have allocated about $6 million to support the schools. And so we will be determining what level of funding each school needs to adequately implement their plan.
Okay, and what are the expectations once this does get implemented?
Yes, the expectations are that we accelerate children's learning. That our children go to school and that they expect every day to have their needs met, their academic needs, that their educators, their teachers, all the people in the school, that they understand what that child needs. And that child's growth in things like reading and math and writing and science are accelerated. And that's how we will measure progress. We will be looking for great achievement gains in these schools.
And Mark, why is this so important? Is this because of trying to get the children ready so when they get to college and try to find a job? Because you have people right now in this economic state that have master's degrees, PhDs, and cannot find a job. So again, for those who are speculating, well, how will this work? And you're saying you want to excel the students' knowledge. More or less, like, how important is this?
Education is a critical component of a child's future success. We know that in every single indicator. We see it in things like lifetime earnings. We see it in ability of people to be great community members and own their homes. We see it in their ability to be great neighbors. And on the flip side, we see the negative impacts. In fact, the most recent research is showing us that African American males in their 20s without a high school diploma are actually more likely to be incarcerated than they are to have a job. Right? The stakes here are huge. Our children not only need to be successful in their elementary and middle school years, but that success sets up success in high school, and that high school success sets up graduation, and graduating ready to take those next steps, ready to go into the workplace, ready to go into college. Our children need that pipeline. And at the end of the day, the stakes are higher than individual children. They're the stakes for our city and for our society. Our city will not thrive without a strong educational system. We know we need safe streets, and we know we need a great education system as a foundation for the health of Wilmington in the long term.
And for those who think that this is a takeover type of initiative and they go against this initiative, what will happen? What will happen to these schools? Are they going to shut down? Like, what's going to happen?
This is the opposite of a takeover. In fact, if people read the documents that are on our website that describe this, what you will see is that we are empowering the schools. The schools are actually the ones who will be making the decisions for their future, not the state. What the state is doing is providing the resources and providing conditions. But the school community, in partnership with their parents and their local and all those stakeholders around the school, they will make the decisions about the future of their school. The state is setting expectations. We have an expectation that our children will achieve and they will be well served in our schools. And we will hold the districts and the schools accountable to that. But at the same time, it is the school that charts that course towards excellence.
And Mark, before we leave, if a parent or a teacher or anyone who wants more information about this, the upcoming informational sessions, where do they need to go?
Yes, on the front page of our website, the Department of Education for Delaware, on the right-hand side, what you see is an immediate link to get the information. If people want to read the legal documents and the description of what this is and the expectations, that's all right there on the front page, including an FAQ, a frequently asked questions document. And then the other thing that I would encourage parents to do is to reach out to their districts and reach out to their schools. The schools and the districts, they'll be the ones engaging in that planning process, and they will have firsthand knowledge about how they will engage the parents in that.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate your time.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. More of La Conexión when we return.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Miguel Díaz?
Presente.
Miguel Díaz.
Presente.
Miguel Díaz.
Miguel Diaz.
Los estudiantes que falten 18 días o más de escuela en cualquier grado corren el riesgo de atrasarse y no graduarse. Las ausencias se acumulan. Mantenga la cuenta hoy. Visite boostattendance.org.
Downtown Delaware and Delaware Economic Development Office Project Pop-Up Initiative awards entrepreneurs 3 months of free rent and a business advisor. I have here with us one of the recipients of Project Pop-Up, Max Tax LLC. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for joining us. I mean, this is the first for us to have a recipient of Project Pop-Up. Max Tax is one of the businesses, and I believe there's 11 businesses that were awarded this year. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so tell us about Max Tax and how did you go about looking to see if you can be a recipient?
Okay, well, Max Tax LLC is a tax preparation company, and we specialize in helping small businesses to utilize their tax positions in the best way for them, for their growth. And we heard about Project Pop-Up. We actually went to meet with Ken Anderson, and we were talking about some different ways to help grow our business. And we had never heard of the program, and he was like, you came right on the right time and gave you some more information about it. And the process was about to get started with the application and everything. And so we applied for the program, and a couple weeks later, we got chosen for it.
Was there an interest? I know that you get the 3 months for free of space. Now, is this something that as an entrepreneur, of course, you need this opportunity?
Yes, well, and initially, Max Tax has only been strictly an online company. And so being part of the Project Pop-Up is a new initiative for us, and so now we're able to be a face into the community. They know more about who we are, so we're really excited about meeting our neighbors and getting to know the community.
Y we have con nosotros Francisco. Welcome to the show, Francisco.
Gracias por tenerme.
De nada. ¿Y en español puede decir los titulares de esta organización?
Sí. Básicamente lo que nosotros hacemos es que tratamos de educar a la gente en sus situaciones de impuestos. La mayoría de la gente que trabajan diariamente solo saben eso. Trabajar y una vez al año tienen que hacer su impuesto, pagarle a Uncle Sam, como dicen. Y nosotros educamos a la gente para aventurarse, a buscar otras posiciones para poder abrir un negocio pequeño o grande. Igual como nosotros empezamos pequeño en la casa, trabajando por el internet, la organización que nos está ayudando para estar presente en la comunidad, igual le enseñamos al público a cómo hacer igual, buscar otras avenidas para ingresar, o para superar en su negocio.
Y en English, Francisco, can you share with us the importance of having Max Tax with a representative who can speak in Spanish and reach out to the Latino community? I know, Nicole, you were telling me earlier that this is an initiative of the company, that you want to reach out to this underserved population. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of the things we immediately noticed last year was the huge, I would say, want and a need of somebody in the community to educate, the Spanish community. So I, together with Nicole and her husband, co-owner Gary, we pursued it very slowly, but we quickly realized that there was such a need because people had such a lack of education of the tax system. Like, everybody is intimidated by Uncle Sam, and we quickly came about to showing them there's no need to be afraid. It actually can work for your benefit if you do it wisely and legally, of course, and don't cut any corners, and just, look for ask questions and wait for an answer, and look for other avenues to open up a business. And the main thing that deters most Hispanics in Wilmington, we found out quickly, was the tax situation. They say, oh, there's too much to deal with, so they don't even want to go forward with it. They just kind of hunker down and go back to their 9-to-5 job and say, there's no point of me striving to do bigger and better things. And we quickly break that mold and tell them, no, you need to venture out. You need to be a little brave, and look for those other streams of income,
And this location for this Project Pop-Up recipient is going to be right here in Wilmington, which is kind of the heart of where a lot of Latinos reside. Yes. So Nicole and Gary Kennedy, as the owners, what is this going to do for your business as a whole, having it here in the Wilmington area?
Well, for our business, I believe it's really going to have an impact because now people can walk in off of the streets, and what we're actually going to be starting, which is we believe is going to be a first for the city and even for the state of Delaware, is that we're going to be the first tax business to be open 24/7. So people who have different kinds of swing shifts that they get off at 2 o'clock in the morning, they still need to get their taxes done too, while everyone else is free and sleeping. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to provide that service for people who have different situations, so they can come in off the street, make an appointment with us, walk to our office. We also do drop-off services, so they can come and drop their paperwork off, and we can process their tax return in 24 hours. So we provide a lot of different options to the community.
And this is a business within the community. So what is your definition of community, and how will this impact the Wilmington area?
I think our definition of community are people who are holding hands and arm to arm to work together for the common good. So we don't see people as different income ranges and whatnot. Everyone has the potential for greatness, and so we really try to dig deep in all of our clients and everyone in the neighborhood, because anyone could be a potential business owner. So that's kind of our focus, is looking like, this person has a passion for photography, but they don't really feel like they're official because they don't have all the training, but they're making money. We're like, hey, well, let me show you how you could potentially turn this into a really full-fledged business, and maybe let that be your full-time job as opposed to doing something you're not as interested in. So that's our definition of community.
And let's talk about your added value system.
Okay, our added value system is the difference between processing just a standard tax return and using our business strategy return. So we're talking about some of those people who, we like to say, people who are in business but don't know that they're in business. So we show them what's the difference if you use your business idea with your tax situation to help you have the best outcome. So that's our added value system, is the difference between those two numbers.
And lastly, can you tell us in español los beneficios de esta organización, and where can one get more information?
Oh, bueno, los beneficios de la organización es básicamente, como dijo Nicole, usando su aventura o sus ideas para aventurarse y buscar un negocio, enseñándole y educando a la persona que sí es posible, aunque usted no tenga licencias y cosas así, abrir un negocio de acuerdo con las leyes. Y el beneficio más grande que yo descubrí era familia. Somos una familia. No solo somos un negocio y no tratamos a las personas como números. Entonces, yo creo que cada persona que entra por nuestras puertas van a sentir eso inmediatamente, que lo estamos tratando como un familiar, buscando la mejor solución para su situación de impuestos.
Wonderful. And the website? Is there a website for more information?
Yes, our website is www.mymaxtax.com.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Yes, you're welcome.
It was fun. Thank you.
Definitely. More of La Conexión when we return.
Hey. Look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today.
Mira tu mami.
Quizás le molesta tanta luz.
Quizás está aburrido. Quizás necesita más estímulo.
Evadir la mirada es una de las primeras señales de autismo. Conoce las demás señales hoy.
G. Lloyd Morris writes and produces films and plays that chronicle inner city issues. He joins us today to tell us about his upcoming play, Second Chances. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Well, let's talk about your background and the type of plays that you have here in the city of Wilmington.
Okay, well, I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, Inglewood section, and I've been living here on the East Coast now for about 13 years. I have my bachelor's from Wilmington University, which is local, and I got my master's in writing from Temple University. And I literally write about the streets and the inner city community, specifically to show the complexity of the people that live in the inner city, not show them as one-dimensional, but show all of the different things that make them unique, and how they're some of the smartest people in the community.
Okay, let's talk about your play, Second Chances. As we all know, in all types of cities throughout the state of Delaware, well, United States of America for that much, there's always crime.
Right.
So you're actually tackling something that's really not talked about. We have newspaper articles, we have the media who's always just talking about, okay, there's a murder case here or a shooting there,
right,
but they're not really grabbing the concept of how one thinks and is living in this environment. So let's talk about the actual play itself.
Right. Well, the story Second Chances was my thesis project from school. The story is about a guy that gets out of prison today, ex-gang member, drug dealer. He comes back to the old neighborhood that he used to live in, that he got in trouble in. And one of his new neighbors is this 17-year-old girl who's desperately trying to get to college, desperately trying to get out of the projects. And she struggles in this one area in school, which is math. Well, the ex-drug dealer is a whiz at all math, algebra, geometry, everything. So he starts tutoring her right there in the hood, right there on the corner. And at the same time, he has the old gang and old street life pulling on him to get him to come back. So you have the future pulling on one side, and then you have the past pulling on the other side, which is exactly what happens in the community. That's what recidivism is. That's how it happens. Recidivism is the process by which a person falls back into criminal behavior. Well, if I get out of prison and I don't have any job skills, no education, and I'm not a part of a network that can help me get either one of those things, the question then becomes, like in Pavlov's triangle of hierarchy of needs, what is it that I need to do? How can I get money?
Right.
And this is how the criminal behavior takes place. And it's not out of a heinous spirit. A lot of times it's out of necessity. And to show the complexity of the people that are experiencing that is educational, because we don't get those stories on the news.
And your play is really focusing on something that's kind of like an epidemic. Recently, we just had a press conference informing everyone that now there's going to be a homicide unit within our Wilmington Police Department. So here you're showing a different angle and how one actually gets to that.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the type of target audience you're trying to reach.
Okay, well, essentially, when I started writing stuff like this, In my head, my community, my audience was actually going to be the black and brown community. I wanted to show a different angle, a different aspect of life in the inner city. My audience has now become much more vast than that. My target audience are for lawmakers, lawyers, police, people that can make decisions, the city council representatives. This is something that they all need to see, and they need to let their communities know that there is high art being performed at a local museum that is a mirror image of what's going on in the community. Everybody needs to see it. It's educational. Everyone needs to see it.
And you're getting a lot of participation. You're getting a lot of local support. There's a couple professors from University of Delaware who came out recently to your last plays.
Yes.
And your actual people who are acting in these scenes, are they the target audience that you're speaking of, your black and brown?
Absolutely. I have a really super talented cast. I want to just say too that, so we have our lead actor is DJ Mifflin. He's one of the lead actors on the show Sleepy Hollow. I think that's on Fox, I believe it is. So he's going to be my lead actor. And then I have a lot of super talented local actors from Philly and DC area. But one of the things that I also do with the play as a completely different subplot is I really believe that it's important for us to be able to identify hidden talent, which is one of the things that you'll see in the play. We have some of the most talented people in the world that live in some of the most impoverished areas.
Right.
And they have hidden talents primarily that are never uncovered because they're not a part of a network where that can even be cultivated. So they hide it, like the ability to sing, the ability to write, the ability to paint. These are things that are all considered art, but they're not considered a real job. So they're not cultivated like someone going to college and getting a degree to go and get a proverbial 9 to 5.
And G. Lloyd, can you tell us about, more or less, why this angle? The poverty that one faces in Wilmington is definitely not the same poverty that one will face in the suburbs, in Newark, in Newcastle. So you having come from LA and your upbringing, why did you want to touch such a sensitive topic? Because
in the words of John F. Kennedy, there are aspects of our society that only art can touch. And because I'm an independent artist, I don't have to gauge what I say or how I say it. I'm not a politician. I don't work for a particular company that I represent in terms of what I talk about. So I really can say what I want to say the way I want to say it. And that gives me the opportunity to reach an even broader audience because now I get to bring authenticity to the stage and to film. My goal is to give a clear 1.5 hour look to people into a world that they would never live in, never choose to live in, and never forced to be live in. But I want to show the complexities of the people. Just because I know, just if I'm a part of a family and my kids, we live in the projects or live in an impoverished area, I want my kids to go to Tatno too. I want them to go to Sanford too. I want them to go to better schools as well. I may not know how to do it, but as a parent, that's my desire. Those are the stories that are never told in the news, how that happens.
And before we leave, can you let us know the date of your next play, which is going to be your last play, and how one can attend and get tickets?
Yes, Second Chances is going to be at the Delaware Center for Contemporary Art, 200 South Madison Street in Wilmington, 19801. Tickets are going to go on sale at www.themorrisproject.com. Tickets are going to be $20. There'll be more at the door. And you will not be disappointed, though. We're literally going to take all the air out of the room once the action starts. It's going to be ridiculous.
Great. I look forward to it. Great play. Well, thank you so much, and best of luck on your future endeavors. And should you choose to go to Philly or back to LA?
I want to go to 25 cities. That's my dream.
Oh, that's great. And then these, like I said, this is a topic that definitely needs to be hit, and the target audience that you're trying to reach, this is something that they can gain some valuable knowledge from.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And on behalf of all of us here at WITN Channel 22, I'm Yesenia Taveras. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.